Hey guys, I'm Brad the Impaler. Today I'm going to introduce a new series called Diving In. In this series, I'll be talking at greater length and with more facts and figures about, well, whatever the fuck I want. While wrecking SJWs is satisfying and all, sometimes you gotta dive in and explore the issue. Enjoy. In a complete and total upset, Donald J. Trump has won the United States presidential election. It's the next day, and I think we should quote Obama here.
I looked around to see if there were any asteroids falling or... Sudden cracks opening up in the earth. Turned out it was a nice day. Birds were chirping. Folks were strolling down the mall.
Armageddon isn't here. In fact, I see this as the one way America had to avoid political Armageddon, and the people have indeed spoken. But this vote wasn't for Donald Trump as much as it was a vote against the corrupt establishment direction championed and embodied by Hillary Clinton. So, what drove this victory for Donald Trump? What caused this upset? If we go to just a few days before the election, pretty much everyone was saying that Hillary was sure to grab it. But obviously, that's not what happened. It's obvious that the people of America have come together and voted in a populist, despite the polls telling an entirely different story all the way up till Election Day. The media was guilty of what Trump accused them of, underestimating the common American and being extremely biased in favor of the establishment and urban America. Take a listen to what this NBC pundit had to say last night when a Donald Trump victory was looking like it could be in the cards.
I think in general, and the biggest critique on the establishment, and I throw the media in here as well as the two political parties, we've overlooked rural America a bit too much. And I think in hindsight, everybody's been talking about the changing demographics of America and the changing face of America. That's all true. But we've forgotten about rural America, and rural America is basically saying, hello, they are screaming at us to say, stop overlooking us.
This is the exact type of bias that Trump and his supporters have been shouting about for more than a year. This is exactly what they meant by don't believe the polls and the media isn't being fair. I won't go as far as to say that the Democratic Party had control of the mainstream news media, but what I can say is that they dropped the ball on this election. They had no clue what the everyday American was thinking. Take a look at this.
What has been totally underestimated by those of us in the so-called press establishment and the people who have been looking at this is the depth of the anger, the depth of the people saying, I want to change. I don't care if I have to pull the pin on a grenade and roll it across the country. Whatever it takes, we want change, and we want big change.
This is what we've been telling you since Donald Trump won the primaries. The average American is not happy with PC culture, and they are not happy with being manipulated by the establishment. They are tired of career politicians and special interests. But Tom, there's more to this here, because anger is not an emotion. Anger is the result of emotion. The emotion that everyday America feels that led them to being this pissed off in the first place is distrust and fear. Fear and distrust of the establishment, distrust of Hillary Clinton, fear of losing our country to terrorism or the intolerance that thousands of Muslim immigrants will bring, and so much more. The same party that happily calls out the Bible and Christianity as promoting hate when some loony blows up an abortion clinic is the same party that is led by people that want to protect Muslims who are much more prone to terrorism because of their religion. No matter how many times regressive liberals shout, "Not all Muslims!" at us, we know the danger Islam presents to gender relations and human rights in America. We also know that instead of carrying God hates fag signs, making themselves look like fools, like the Christian radicals most often do, the radical Muslims will stand in a highly populated area and blow themselves up. The same party that has been calling foul on special interests on the GOP side has been led by people that embody the term pay to play. We can see that from the WikiLeaks information. We see from the leaks that the DNC even sabotaged their candidate that was most likely to win so that they could keep the special interest machine rolling. This is the party that publicly shames the elite and makes up the majority of SJWs, while they take money from the so-called patriarchy and they take money from Saudi Arabia, who openly and proudly violate women's rights as a matter of principle. The Republican Party isn't really celebrating their candidate's victory either. If anything screams establishment, it's the grand old party. Donald Trump spent his campaign tearing down the Republican Party right alongside the Democrats. I think that's what makes this election different than most in the past. And I also think that this is what makes it more like America's Brexit. Republicans certainly did come home, but they didn't come home for a homecoming party. No, they came with sledgehammers to knock the walls out. I am certain that November 8th, 2016, mark it on your calendar, marks the day the GOP as we know it died.
The depth of the people saying, I want to change. I don't care if I have to pull the pin on a grenade and roll it across the country.
Yeah, you're damn right we wanted to blow the system up. The machine was too big to put the brakes on, too many working parts and webs to untangle. If you want real change, you have to dash apart the system that is in place so that you can build it anew. That is how America was born, and it very well may be the way it's reborn. Now that some of the election fog is clearing, if you look back at Donald's statements, all this division amongst Americans was never his intent. He never called half of Hillary's supporters deplorable. He never said that Hillary supporters represent hate or that Hillary inspired hatred, but these are things that she said about him. He never put down the Latino Americans or Black Americans as a whole. Quite the contrary. He wants to lift those communities up. The division that occurred, honestly, came from the reaction to the radical idea that America should love itself and try to protect itself. The establishment threw every virtue-signaling slur at Donald that they could think of. They took things that he said on immigration, and they turned it into racism. They took the things that he said on race relations, and they turned that into racism. They took the insults he threw at Hillary and turned that into sexism. By the way, does he hate all men too when he called out Comey on the email investigation? They took things that he said in private to a friend and turned that into misogyny. All that in itself is not so bad. I mean, Hillary was running on the idea that a patriarchy has held women away from this post, and that racism has become rampant in this country. So, she had to paint Donald as a symbol of that perceived women-hating, racist bigot, for votes. That's not so bad. What really gets me going on this is she then took all those accusations and proudly pinned them on millions of Americans.
Grossly generalistic. You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it. But that other basket of people are people who feel the government has let them down, the economy has let them down, nobody cares about them.
I wanted to make my first episode of Diving In fit the format that you'll see in future episodes of the series. Unfortunately, that just couldn't happen with this one, so see it as a special edition. I want to be able to pull up articles and studies and talk about them. I want to be able to have some facts and figures and really delve into the issues at hand. I decided to make this the first episode because it's important and it's lengthy, which I think is important for the Diving In series. But it doesn't have any real numbers on the why, and that's what I really want to dive into. Expect this episode to be in more than one part, because as the fog continues to clear after the election here, some real figures will start to show themselves. If you like the new series and want to see more, please leave a like and comment down below telling me what you think lost this election for Hillary. Share this video, follow me on Twitter. If you want to see future episodes of Diving In your YouTube feed, you're going to need to hit that subscribe button. Remember, I'm also looking for stupid shit SJWs say on social media, so if you happen upon something that you're browsing, please tweet it to me at Brad_Impaler, or you can email it to me at bimpaler@outlook.com, and I'll tackle it in an upcoming video. Oh, and by the way, fuck you, Hillary supporters, we fucking won!
Turn down for weed. Put your fucking hands up.